In this section, we are going to talk about the point that is how to get into the PM role in IT. That is how to become a project manager, and what are the skill sets required for it? What is the journey for it? So let's start. Shiva, first questions first. That is, what are the key skill sets that are required for you to become a project manager in IT?
Okay, so I think Chaitanya, it's a very good question that you have asked me, and to the audience who are listening to this podcast, I would give a heads up that something what I say that these are the skill sets required. So those are not like the final one that you require. So those are my experiences that I'm
Correct.
talking about. And Chaitanya, I also wanted to give you some background about myself, that how I have started into the project management space. So basically, to the audience, I am from a science background. So I did Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, and then Electronics, and then Maths. And after that, I did post graduation in Diploma Management in the field of project management, marketing, and HR. So there were a lot of career changes. I was into a different profile, and then again, I got into a different profile. So I would say I've started my project management profile when I was in Deloitte. So means I was seeing a team who were hiring a project manager or a project coordinator. And at that point of time, that really interested me because I know by myself that I'm a person who can do that role because I feel I'm like a risk taker. I am clear with my thoughts. And I also believe that I had a good communication skills, not a great, I would say at that point of time, but a good communication skills to engage my stakeholders and do a better negotiation. So if somebody is asking me, like, tell me the three pointers that what makes a great project manager or a skills that you require. So I say that it is clear communication skills. So when I say a clear communication skills, that means whatever you speak or whatever you say or whatever you send or whatever you document, it has to be pretty clear, right? You have to keep everyone aligned, even when the plan shifts. So in a project management space, don't believe that everything happens as per the plan. Okay. If after 3 months your go live is there, don't be in a misconception that it will happen in that space because so many things can happen. So just make sure that your communication skills are clear. Second thing, proactive issues and risk management. So you have to be a proactive, right? So that proactive thing should be there with respect to anything. You need to have that brain to analyze that what is going to come and how you are going to work on it. If in case you don't know how to work on it, you have your leaders, you have your managers, you have your team to do a brainstorming. Okay. And the third thing is that very important, I feel, empathy and people skills. Okay. You should have that empathy with you, right? You have to put yourself in their shoes and you should have a good people skills. I personally feel that if somebody is not having a good people skill, they cannot be a great project managers. End of the day, it is the relationship that you have to make. Chaitanya, you would have worked with so many project managers, but I personally feel that the rapport that you have with me, the kind of comfort that you have with me, the kind of comfort the other people in a project have with me, it's maybe because the empathy and the people skills that I have,
Correct. That's right.
right?
Absolutely right.
And the next thing is adaptability. You cannot say that, oh, I don't like this. Okay. In IT or in this technology evolution, you will see a change after every 3 months, after every 2 months, after every 6 months. Means the change is happening because the need of the customer is changing. So everything is happening. Let's take an example of ServiceNow. If you're not aware of ServiceNow, you can just go and Google about ServiceNow. Okay, I'll not say or give details about ServiceNow. I'm just quoting an example. So ServiceNow is a tool or a product, I would say. It has lot of updates or enhancements happening in a year.
Mhm.
Until a person is adapting to the first change, a new change is coming.
Mhm.
Until they're adapting to the second change, a third change is coming. So that means the adaptability is required. You cannot go back and say that, okay, I cannot do this. I'm tired, I'm restless, or it's too much for me. No, you have to adapt. You have to learn what is happening in the IT. Next, very important, calm under pressure.
Mhm.
Okay. So if something is going wrong in your project, if somebody is not doing or delivering things on time, don't get paranoid or don't get like agitated or aggressive that why it's not happening, why it's not happening. Rather just sit, be calm, Okay, that shows how good the project manager you are. I have always practiced it. Okay, I was always practiced it. If something is going out of my hands, I have a team. I
Right.
have people. I can talk to them. I can go to them. I can get solutions from them. So I will go to them one when I feel that I'm not able to get that solution.
Correct.
Okay, I have to do the brainstorming with me. And once I feel that it is too much for me, you have a team. You should talk to the team. So
Mhm.
I think these are the important skills that you should have. At the same time, I personally suggest the people or the audience who would be listening to this podcast that always have that technical kira in you,
Mm.
have that technical insect in you, right? Try to understand the technology. That, okay, it's not that you will just do and do coding and
Of
coding.
course,
I'm
yeah.
not thinking about that. If two people are talking about technologies, be a third person,
Mm.
be with them, and try to understand what those two people are talking about.
Mm.
Okay, with that, you will get an overview. For example, if you go to YouTube and see a video, you will get some understanding.
Mm.
But the same thing, if two people are talking, you will get more understanding.
That's right.
Okay, so try to do that. So this is another skill, the IT skills, that how the IT is evolving, what is the niche skill in the market, because being a project manager, you're not associated with only one skill
Mm.
or only one product. You can be in Salesforce project management, you can be in a ServiceNow project management, you can be in a Oracle project management. So you are being exposed to different domains.
Correct.
When you're exposed to different domains, adaptability will come. Okay, and then you have to be very calm because different domains work in a different way.
Mm.
Okay, so I these are the important skills I would say will really help the upcoming or the future project managers to have to become successful in their career.
Got it. I think they're actually very good insights, and we hear a lot about the hard skills that you require, but very few people talk about the soft skills that are required. And I think for a role like project management, which is people centric, the adaptability of soft skills is a very crucial part. On
Yeah.
that note, can you just quickly help us with the hard skills or the tools or anything that a project manager should know and learn as well, along with the soft skills?
Yeah, so hard skills, it again depends, Chaitanya, that which line they want to get into. Okay, if they have a thought process that okay, I want to get into a finance side, okay, I want to get into the IT side because they have their own project managers. Okay, if you and there are certain roles which gets into the law kind of a thing. There is an organization called as Clifford Chance. If I'm sorry to take that name, but I have an overview because my friend was working. It was into a different domain, and my friend was a project manager and he was working towards certain documentations, legal documentations, etc., etc. However, when I was in Deloitte or when I was into MTX or any other organization, there the scope for work was very different. So to answer your question, Chaitanya, the upcoming project manager needs to tell themselves or ask themselves that which line they want to get into. So let's take an example of IT. For me, I want to stay in IT, so I can talk more about IT or hard skills that is required. So you need to understand that that organization is into different technologies. What are those different technologies?
Correct.
Okay. So if they say that they are into AWS, they are into Google Cloud, they are into Microsoft Azure, blah, blah, blah. So you should have an overview that what is this about?
Mhm.
Okay. Not means try to understand what is AWS, what is AWS does.
Mhm.
Okay,
True.
what is Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud. So just an overview, they should have it so that they can understand that, oh, I'm the project manager. This is this platform they're going to use. Okay, how this platform is going to work, how that migration is going to work. Okay, they should try to understand that what is migration, what is cloud. Okay, now cloud is, so Chaitanya, you are also aware that cloud is everywhere.
Correct.
Cloud. Okay, what is cloud? Okay, some people they don't even know the answer about it, but they start talking about it. I want to give a heads up to those people that when you talk, have some knowledge about it.
Mhm. Right.
You might don't know that with whom you might encounter in future. If that person start drilling you and you don't have any background about it,
Right.
means it's a very embarrassing situation. Okay,
That's right.
so try to understand and grab as much as possible that what is cloud, what is AWS, what happens in the cloud, why organization is adopting clouds, what are the advantages of being in cloud. So these are certain hard skills or tools that individual can explore more by themselves.
Got it. Got it. Cool. So, if I talk about a step-by-step roadmap. Let's say anybody wants to
Yeah.
enter into the project management domain, become a project manager. What
Yeah.
would be the step-by-step path to become a project manager? Can we start with step number one?
Yeah. So Chaitanya, before I get into it, there is some story that I want to tell. So the thing is that Chaitanya, there is no hard and fast rule that after these many years you can become a project manager. Okay. Or some people start at early, the moment they complete their graduation or post graduation or whatever it is, because it depends on the opportunity given by the organization to them. Okay. So step by step, the thing is that first, you have certain courses in the industry, you have certain masters in US. So now I'm in US, I talk to people that they say that you have certain colleges who are giving the project management degree. So if you want to do it, you can directly get into that course, try
Mhm.
to understand more about it, and you can start your career as soon as you're out from the college. Okay,
Correct.
that is one. For the step two, I would like to talk about those people who are into testing, who are into different domains, who are into development,
Mhm.
and they have developed or did testing for like 4, 5, 6 years, 7 years. They can also come into this line. So to get into this project management space or a program management space, there is no entry that at 0 years of experience you can enter or after 10 years. End of the day, we all come to that space only, Chaitanya, right? So tomorrow, after 10 or 15 years of experience, you will also come into that space where you are managing people, where you are managing projects. Okay. It just depends that at what time you want to enter into that space. So step by step roadmap, I would say that the people who are freshers, try to do some courses. You have very good courses on Udemy. You have very good courses on given by Google. Okay, you can start learning, you can start enroll yourself into it and try to understand more about it. Okay, first I'm talking about people who just want to start the project management career.
Correct.
You have certain institutes who are giving trainings on it. Okay, you have certain institute is a full-fledged institute who is talking about project management. If somebody wants to come to US, you have certain institutes who are giving MS on project management.
Okay.
Okay, study it and get into that role. If I have to talk about somebody, that is step one. After getting into a project management space or doing that course, please, you don't become a project manager. So there are certain titles, Chaitanya. Okay. So once you get into it, it is the general role that which is given to you. So when I was in Deloitte, we were called as a project coordinators.
Mm.
Okay. So there is a hierarchy. We have portfolio managers. Under portfolio managers, you will have program managers. Under program managers, you will have project managers, and under project managers, you will have a project coordinators.
Got it.
So basically, if somebody is starting very fresh, the role which is given to you is like a project coordinator. You have to work on a basic things like taking the MOMs, working closely with the project manager, help the project manager with the documentation. So if you're doing it, that will give you a better understanding that how the project manager or how the project management happens. So that is the entry. Okay. And the second is like then from project coordinator, you become a project manager. So these are the milestones that I have achieved.
Mm.
I worked as a project coordinator, then I become a project manager, and now I am a program manager.
Mm.
Okay. And now my next target is that I have to become a portfolio manager.
Mm.
And to become a portfolio manager, you have certain certifications.
Mm.
At the same time, everybody who is going to listen our podcast, I would say there are certain certifications in the market. You have to do it.
Mm.
Okay. And those certifications, please don't do it by proxy. Rather,
Mm.
study about them, learn about them, and then pass the examination.
Correct.
Then pass the examination because that will give you a better understanding that what exactly happens in the project management
True.
space.
True. That's so right. That's so right. True.
Yeah. Second thing about the senior people, I have seen people like who are into testing or development or any other space or non-technical background like finance background or any other background. Please don't worry. It
Mm.
is a space where you don't feel that I cannot go into. Definitely you can go into. Okay, you have another area which is called as a Scrum Master.
Mm.
So Scrum Master is something where the technical capabilities are not required, but rather a functional capabilities are required. Okay,
That's right.
right? So this is a space which is open for everybody, provided the soft skills that you have, the skills which are needed that we just spoke about it. If you feel that you fit into those areas, then definitely you can become very good project manager. So if somebody from testing or development or non-IT background, they want to become, first do certain certifications.
Mm.
Okay, even if you are not financially very weak and you don't have any money to do a certification, then learn some free courses. Okay, you on Google or on YouTube, you have certain free courses. Learn about it, try to understand, and try to find somebody in the IT. Sit with that person. For example, Chaitanya, let's take your example. Like, you are into IT and I'm a person who doesn't know about any IT and I want to get into project management. So guys, what I'll do, I'll take a topic, and one Saturday or Sunday or any of the weekend, I will spend some time with Chaitanya, and I will try asking him, hey Chaitanya, what is this? Okay,
Mm.
what is, so Chaitanya can really give me a real-time scenarios and real-time explanation that, okay, this is what. So this will enhance your learning. Okay, so all these are considered a step-by-step roadmap. Okay, when I went into project management, I have identified a senior PM. I used to sit with that senior PM, and that senior PM used to share all the materials with me, and I used to read those materials, and I used to brainstorm with that senior PM.
Correct.
And the good thing is that that senior PM helped me to get into that role. So
Mm.
in my entire life, I'm not going to forget that senior PM, because she has given that breakthrough to
Mm.
me to get into that space.
True.
And
That's
in today's podcast, I want to take her name also. Her name is Sapna,
yeah.
and she has given that break. If she wouldn't have given that break, and today you wouldn't have seen me a project management space.
I know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
everybody on the podcast, try to identify who is that person who can really help you, nurture you, guide you to get into that space.
That's so true. That's so true. And
Yeah.
on that note, and it's so good that you have taken the name of your mentor, because usually what happens is that when we grow in our careers, we, while giving such podcasts or such interviews, we usually say, "Oh, I did this, I did that." But I mean, anywhere you are right now, there is a contribution of a lot of people. Of course, your parents, your family, but there are a lot of mentors in your corporate or in your career as well, in your professional world. Uh,
Yes.
I have been working in IT for more than 8 years now. Any little success that I've had till now, I attribute it to all my mentors. I mean, uh, the thing is that, I feel that corporate or professional world is a little has a little bad reputation, over bad reputation, that you find these memes and everything, that okay, there is a lot of politics, no one is going to help you, everyone is here to butcher you and so on. But I have had a different experience. I've been in the same world that you hear the negative things about. It is how you communicate with the other person. It is how well you communicate with the other person. If you talk from the intent of a student, and you talk to a teacher, you would get a very good result. If you talk
Yeah.
from that perspective, okay, you know what, I am your junior, but don't you dare treat me as a junior. You have your ego and everything. The other person is not going to help you. So as it rightly says in a couple of philosophies as well, that when you have to take some gyan or some knowledge or anything from someone, you have to be a little humble, you have to be a little on the receiving end. So
Yeah.
and honestly, I resonate with you. Anything that we have done till now, any milestone that we have achieved, it has a lot to do with the mentorship that has been given. I mean, I
Exactly.
would have been
Exactly.
nowhere if I did not have awesome seniors, awesome mentors with me. So
Yeah.
that's completely true, and I truly appreciate you for calling that out. Now,
Yeah.
on that note, Shiva, of course, we are at the end of this speed podcast. In one line, or of course in two, 3 lines, in very short, uh, what would you say, or what advice would you give to someone who is planning to enter into project management? What could be the one stop, one or two liner answer for this question? That is, how do you get into project management?
Okay. So first thing is that before you do everything by yourself, because when you're new to that particular area, you are very confused.
Right.
Okay. You don't know what is the first step or where you have to go. So it's better you try to identify a mentor or a friend who is into that area.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Nowadays on a LinkedIn platform, you have so many motivational speakers who are into that space. You can connect with them and you can just share your interest that I want to get into this line. What is that I have to do?
Correct.
So the problem is that Chaitanya, when we do everything by ourselves, we don't know anything about it.
Right.
Okay, we don't know anything about it and we don't know what is a right step or a wrong step. Okay. So what my suggestion is that first try to identify a mentor or a coach who can really help you or guide you that this is a step one, this is a step two, and this is how you have to go.
Correct.
That will really help that person to get into that space and give more understanding about it. So please don't do it by yourself. If you are new to this line, identify somebody, connect with them, and they will guide you.
Correct.
And
True.
once you feel that you have all the information, now you're independent and you can do it by yourself.
Correct.
Okay.
That's
And the other thing is that in industry, you have certain certification. People feel that when you do certification, you will get high package. I feel it is utterly a nonsense. Okay. Certification is something that is giving you a broader understanding that how the project management is, how the Scrum Master is, and how this project management in various industries will fit.
correct.
Okay. So I would say that any certification that you're doing, just do it very nicely, diligently, and don't do any proxy.
Mm.
Because when you do a proxy, you're not putting any efforts. You are just having the certification and putting on your resume that this I did this certification, but in reality you don't know about it.
Right.
Okay. So study first. Okay. Before you do any certification, have a milestone that next after 6 months, this certification I'm going to do, and before that I have to complete all these milestones. So these are few things. Do certain courses because in interview people will ask you some basic things like Chaitanya, means we thought of talking about like what are the different methodologies and all that stuff. Okay, so I would try to say the audience that there is no specific methodologies or a thing that you follow on a project. It depends on the nature of the project.
Correct.
Okay, if you're constructing a house, you cannot be agile. If you
Mm.
are constructing a house, there are certain foundations that you have to start with. Okay, so
Correct.
I would say you need a blueprint. Okay, without a blueprint, you cannot even start your project. So
Correct.
it's kind of a waterfall that I'm talking about.
Mm.
Okay, so when we are into agile, agile means you are very fast in the market. You are competing with the competitors. So the customer wants to be ahead of your competitor and they wanted to do anything which is coming very fast. So that's the agile kind of a thing.
Correct. Correct. That's right.
And you have to be very open to the new things which is coming up.
Correct.
And nowadays in industry there is another thing which is called as hybrid.
Mm.
So hybrid is something which falls between waterfall and agile, that is called as hybrid methodology.
Mm.
So it's a combination of both agile and waterfall. So to the audience who would be listening to this podcast, I would say that try to get a better understanding about these different methodologies and on which area or on which space you can utilize these methodologies.
That's right. I think that's very insightful. And the word that you mentioned, hybrid methodology, is actually the right thing to do. I've seen a lot of organizations that claim to be agile, but it's actually the hybrid model which is being followed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And though, because agile is fancy, uh,
Yeah.
quite famous, let's use agile everywhere, right? But
Yes.
in actuality, nothing can be completely agile. Nothing can be completely waterfall. Much
Waterfall. It's a
similar,
mix.
yeah, much similar to, you talk about any domain, anything. Right now is the era of hybrid. You have to know everything. You have to be a king of one and jack of all. That is something like it works like.
Exactly.
So yeah, cool, cool. I think this was quite a good session, and you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, we build such content for our viewers. I have been in IT for a while now. I know what project management is, but I learned a couple of new things today, so it was good for me as well.
Yeah.
So again, thank you so much for being here, Shiva, and I hope that our viewers get a lot of information, a lot of value from this content. And
Yes.
I'm sure that we'll be meeting again with some new
Yeah.
topics, with some new agendas. And
Yes.
so till then, bye bye, and thank you so much.
Take care. Bye, Chaitanya. Nice talking.
Same here.